of English is a core course in tertiary institutions across Nigeria. It is taught to expose students to the proper way of using English language so as to enhance smooth communication and efficient expression in English language. It is one of the prerequisites for the completion of requirements for first degree in Nigerian universities, without which no students can graduate. Because it's designed to encourage linguistic competence and sustain the culture of intelligence and appropriateness among users of English language. It is also designed to master the theory of English language so as to become functional users of English language, both in formal and informal situations. As we all know that there are formal situations and informal situations which require different uses of English language. And then the contents include an overall insight into study skills and methods that addresses effectiveness in studying and causes of ineffectiveness in studying. Meaning you have to learn how to study, you learn different skills of studying and the methods to efficient studying. It also contains means of creating study plan and methods, studying techniques, reading to achieve specified goals, and self-evaluation after reading. Studying as a purpose-driven activity. Studying is a purpose-driven activity that requires determination, meaning you cannot read without the determination to actually study, to learn. If you are not inspired to study, if you are not inspired to read, you cannot have a good result after reading. So you have to see studying as a purpose-driven activity. Then studying should be done with keen interest in order to gain knowledge and to solve problems. So at the end of the day, you should be able to solve problems in some situations. Students should not view studying as an activity they should engage in when exams approach, because such students might find it difficult to recall what they have read during the examinations, and again, they would find it difficult to utilize such knowledge in their careers, families, and society at large. How do you manage your time? Time management is very important in studying, and even in all we do, you have to manage your time. It is a very vital factor in studying so that you can have a very good outcome. Learners must design plans on how each day will be spent, not only on reading, on other things. You have to make plans on how your day will go. This will enable you to cater for necessary activities that you have to do on a daily basis. Now we have helpful tips on time management. How do you manage your time? These are tips that will help you to manage your time on daily basis. The first point I have here is making studying a priority. You must have it at the back of your mind that studying is a must, and then you must do it on daily basis or on weekly basis, depending on your capacity. The second one is set aside enough time to study. You must have a set aside time that will be dedicated to studying alone. Create a personal study timetable for reading. You can have a timetable like the usual one you have in your schools. Draw a table. It could be from 8 a.m. to 9 a.m., from 10 a.m. to 11 a.m., and so on. And you can place a timetable at your reach, maybe at your bedside, at your reading table. You can even have it in your wallet so that it will serve as a reminder that you must read at a particular time. Then ensure you have enough rest or sleep in order to put your brain in a ready condition to receive what you are about to read. This is very important because even if you have the timetable and you set that you have the time already, and your brain is not readily available, it is not in good condition to receive whatever you want to read, you will discover that the time you have set aside will be a waste. So you have to ensure that your brain is in a ready condition to receive what you are about to read. Oftentimes, early morning reading is more effective, and that is very, very practicable. when you read early in the morning, you comprehend better than reading at night when you must have done a lot of activities during the day. Do not read for too many hours at a stretch. This is also very important. Some people would sit in a place for like 10, even at times 5 hours might be too much for some people. So you have to have breaks in between. You can take a break after 2 hours, go and get something else done, come back to it, and so on. So don't read for too long or for too many hours. Ensure you attend classes or lectures regularly. Do assignments, do follow-up reading, make use of the library for research, and participate in group discussions. This is very, very important. Attending classes would enable you to know the current issues and those things that are mentioned in class and are not in the textbooks. Then when you do assignments, the assignments will prompt you to go further, to read further, so that you can have additional information to what the lecturer has mentioned in the class. Then when you do follow-up reading, you can do follow-up reading by consulting other textbooks aside those ones that are recommended in class. Making use of the library. The library too can serve as a resource, a source of information for you, and it would help you in your research. Then you should participate in group discussion, because at times ideas that are coming up from other members of the class will be useful to you too. The studying environment. This has to do with the environment where you read. It could be your room, it could be a classroom, it could be the library, and so on. The study environment is very crucial. It is odd to choose a place like marketplace, clubhouses, football centers, etc., where noises prevail as your study environment. So I would not settle for someone saying he or she reads in the marketplace or in the clubhouse and then the person comprehends. No, it is not possible. You have to choose a very quiet environment, a conducive environment for reading. And a quiet environment is required for reading so that the mind will be placed in a ready condition to receive knowledge without distractions. You can visit the library, the classroom, and other conducive environments suitable for reading. How do we deal with distractions? Distractions can be dealt with by switching off your mobile phones. You avoid watching televisions or movies. You can do that by avoiding listening to music, avoid chatting with friends, and avoid eating or drinking. So if you can avoid all these, you discover that you won't be distracted when you are reading. What are the poor reading habits? There are some habits that are not good when you are reading. You should not exhibit them when you are reading. The first one is vocalizing content of a book while studying. It is very bad to be vocalizing what you are reading. You read quietly. You don't even move your lips when you are reading. It is your eyes and the brain that is expected to do the job. Using the same speed to read all types of text. You should not use the same speed that you use for a novel to read a text that is a non-fiction, or a text that you are familiar with already, that has a vocabulary, a very simple vocabulary. You should not read that same text. You should not read the text with the same speed as you would use to read a text that does not have familiar vocabularies. Then you should not trace words or lines with fingers. You should not start tracing the lines with fingers. It is also a very bad habit. You trace the lines with your eyes. You should not move your head from one side of the book to the other. Eventually you discover that you are stressed because the process of moving your head from one side of the book to the other could be strenuous. And lastly, reading the material word for word. You should not read materials words for words. Pre-reading strategies. There are some things you should do before you start reading. The first one is strategies to activate prior knowledge, and this includes brainstorming. What is brainstorming? It is a mental activity a learner engages in while preparing for reading, and it entails examining the title of the selected material, listing all the information that the title suggests, using such information as foundation for what you already know and reflecting briefly on the material